welcome back to this series where I show you how to master your Cricuts in 10 easy projects. Today's video is project number 6. Just to give you a little recap on all the other projects that we've completed. In project 1, we created a very simple vinyl decal and I showed you how to put it on a glass can so it should stay for a very long time. Project 2 was creating basic HTV cutouts and how to apply HTV only using an iron. Project 3 was creating this cute little gift tag, and we even used the pen that comes with your Cricut to make this tag. Project 4 was learning how to make a multi-layer HTV project and how to layer it perfectly every single time. Boy, did we do a good job at this, because this right here is perfection. Project 5, we went back to cardstock and we made this really cool layered cardstock birthday banner. This right here is gorgeous. So what we're gonna do today is we're actually going to go back into project 5 with this file, and we are going to convert this file into a cake topper. If there's one thing that you need to know about me is I love a good celebration and I love decorating all the things. The other thing that you need to know about me is that I need all my decorations to match. It's a control thing, I know. So what I'm gonna show you how to do is taking an existing project that you have already created, and we're gonna create a whole new item and have it all matchy-matchy. And in this project, I'm gonna show you how to use the offset feature and how we're gonna blend different fonts to create the coolest cake topper. Now, the great thing about this project is if you actually made this banner with me in project 5, you're gonna wanna pull out those scrap pieces of paper, because we're going to use scraps today to make a cake topper that matches our birthday banner. All right, let's go back to the computer. And the first thing you're gonna wanna do is open up project 5 that you saved on your Cricut Design Space, and then we'll get to work. Let's go. All right, friends, you should already have project number 5 open on your computer. The very first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that my font that I'm going to be using for my cake topper is the exact same font in my birthday banner. I love everything to be matchy-matchy. So what I'm going to do is just selecting one of the letters. It doesn't matter which one you select. You want to copy and paste. Command-C, Command-V. And we're going to drag this down here. Now, I want my cake topper to also say happy birthday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click this and I'm going to write happy, return, and birthday. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here into advanced and I'm going to ungroup lines. Now I'm going to drag this up here. All right, now here's the deal. When it comes to me designing, I love to not only utilize the original font that's in a birthday banner, but I also like to add in a different element that will create a individual design, but still tie in with the original birthday banner. Hopefully that just made sense. What I am going to do is I am going to select birthday, and I'm going to come up here into font, and I'm going to change the font over to like a cursive font. I just want this to be a little bit different than my birthday banner to give its own pizzazz. So I'm going to use the BFC Bloom Shine. This is a Cricut Access font, and I'm just going to click on it. And now I need to change it over to where it is birthday is all in lowercase. Now what I want to do is readjust the way the spacing is for this cursive lettering. You're going to see that like right here in the D and the A, that there is like the D just kind of overlaps a little bit, and I just don't like the look of that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to advance. I'm going to go up here into advanced, and I'm going to do ungroup letters, and I'm going to click out of that. So now what I'm going to do is selecting just the Y. I'm just going to move my Y in just a little bit. Now I'm going to press Shift on my keyboard and press A, let go of Shift, and now I'm going to move my A Y to the right. So do you see just that little bit of movement right here did change the look of this design? So I do like the look of this now. So now I'm going to press Shift on my keyboard, selecting the D, and I'm going to move this around to where I like the look. Okay, when I'm happy with that placement, I'm going to press Shift on my keyboard and the H, click the H, let go of Shift, and now I'm going to readjust my H until I get the look. Shift on my keyboard and then the T, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to slide this in just a little bit. Shift on the keyboard, clicking the R. We're going to do Shift on our keyboard, and there we go. Okay, now that we have all of our letters moved to where you like the look of it, what you want to do now is press Shift on your keyboard and also click that B. And you want to come down here to Combine and then Weld. We want this to be one full cutout with no gaps in between the letters. If you do not like the look of what this final cutout looks like, all you would need to do is press this undo button and keep moving your letters around until you like the final look of what your cutout is. But I am just going to select this and press Combine and then Weld. Okay, now what we need to do is combine these two cutouts together, because right now, this right here is all individual cutouts, and then this is its own cutout. So what we need to do now is place this birthday kind of on top of the happy. If you're worried about it not being center, you can select both pieces and we can go to align and then center horizontally. Okay, so if you like the look of this and you were to select both of these and right click and press combined and then weld, what you would be left with is a happy birthday cutout. However, do you see this Y? This Y is not connected to anything. So when you cut this out, this Y right here is just gonna flop on out and you're gonna have happy birthday. So what we need to do is build some layers, and this is where the offset feature comes into play. So I'm gonna press undo, and what I'm gonna do now is selecting both pieces, the happy and birthday, and I'm gonna come up here to offset, and I'm gonna create an offset. Now, this blue line that's right here, that is going to be your offset or your bigger piece that we're going to glue our cardstock on top of. Now, when it comes to the Y, because that's the one thing we're concerned about, you're going to see that up here, it does not connect, but down here it does, and then right here it does not. You want to make sure that your Y is connected on all pieces. The reason for that is if you were to just connect this small little area, it's going to be too fragile and it won't stand up correctly and could potentially rip. So what you want to do is come over here to this little circle, and if you want a larger offset, you want to drag your circle to the right. And you can see that now we're getting connections on all three areas. That's perfect. The other thing about this is you're going to see these inside pieces right here. If you don't want them, you could keep creating your offset to be larger. However, I'm going to show you how to get rid of those insides if you didn't want them here in a second. So all I would do is I would create an offset that does fully engage all three areas. I would not worry about any of these inside little cutouts because we're going to get rid of them. But I would just worry about the connecting of the Y in all three areas. When you have the offset created to your liking, all you want to do is make sure that this right here is welded, and we want to press apply. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to get rid of the insides of these because you can see like a little white poking through with the P, and then right here in the D, inside right here in the A, I want to get rid of those. So what I'm going to do is making sure that it's selected, which it is, you're going to come down to contour. Now what you want to do is you want to take your mouse and you want to click on the items that you want to get rid of. So I want to get rid of this inside portion of the P, and I want to get rid of the inside portion of this P. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to get rid of the inside portions of this right here. And if you wanted to take it a step further, because you can see in the background right here that I did get rid of all of this stuff. If you wanted to take it one step further and get rid of all of the cutouts, you totally could. If you wanted to do that, all you would need to do is press hide all contours, and now everything is hidden. The problem with doing this for me, and this is the great part about creating your own designs, is that for me personally, if I were to cut this all out in white with having a black backer, you're gonna see a lot of black, which to me, I don't really care for. So I am just going to make sure that I do have some breathing room in my cutout so that it doesn't have a whole lot of black screaming at you, if that makes any sense. Now, I wish that Cricut would let you move this box so we can see what the final look is. But if you're satisfied with the way that your cutout is looking right now, you can just click out of that. Now, if you've decided that, oh my goodness, now that I'm back into the screen and I don't like the look of this, all you would need to do is go back into Contour and you would continue editing just the way you did earlier. Now what I want to do is keep with the same theme of my banner. So my particular banner was rainbow themed. I am going to stick with the rainbow theme down here. And I am going to click on happy. And I'm going to come up here to advanced. And I'm going to ungroup the letters. Now in my cake topper, I love using glitter cardstock because it just makes the cake that I'm going to be putting this cake topper in so much prettier. So what I'm going to do is only selecting the H, and I am going to select my red glitter that we used in the birthday banner. So I'm going to come up here to this white swatch, and I'm going to do the dark red. Then I'm going to go into the A, and I'm going to go back up here to the white swatch, and I'm going to click the dark orange for my glitter cardstock. Doing the P, we're going to come up here to the white, and doing the dark yellow for gold glitter cardstock. And we're going to do the same thing with the green and the blue. Okay, now going into birthday, what I want to do is I want to keep with the rainbow theme, and I'm going to do birthday, but I'm going to do birthday in all glitter cardstock purple. Okay, and because I want this all to be matchy-matchy, I want my black offset. I'm going to turn this black offset into white. Now, this cake topper looks like it matches with my birthday banner. Now, there is a little bit of differences between the two, but they still look like they go together for one particular birthday party. Okay, now what we need to do is resize this cake topper to fit our cakes that we're going to be using. So we want to select everything in our cake topper, making sure that this right here is locked, and we want to resize it. What I would do is resize the width. How you determine what size to make your cake topper is you want to figure out what size cake you're using. I personally don't feel like there is a one size fits all for a cake topper. Sheet cakes are obviously going to be longer than a round, and some rounds could be 6, 8, or 12 inches. So what you want to do is taking account for the cake that you're using. If you're using an 8-inch cake, I would do a 7.5-inch wide cake topper. Since I'm going to be using an 8-inch cake, I'm going to create this 7.5 inches and then press return. Now that I have resized this width, I can tell you that whenever I design any type of cake topper, I'm never concerned about the height because your height can keep going as long as possible. It's the width. You don't want the width of your cake topper to be hanging over your cake or to be overly large on your cake. So I always, when creating cake toppers, only look at the width of my finished cake topper. Okay, so I zoomed in on my cake topper because we have to do one final step. Now that we have the perfect size for our cake topper, I'm going to click out of that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to the right where it says offset, and it's the white one that we created earlier. And I am going to copy and paste. So Command C and Command V. And I'm going to drag this over here. Now the reason why we did that is because when we glue our cake toppers together, the very front of the cake topper will have all of this glued onto it, right? How to affix a cake stick is going to be glued on the back side in the middle of your cardstock. If you were to just leave it alone and we were to cut this out, you would be left with something that looks really cute in the front but ugly in the back because you're going to see your glue marks. You're going to see the back of the glitter cardstock. You're going to see the end of the stick all glued on there, and it's probably going to be messy. So what I always love to do is copy and paste my very back offset or my very back layer of my cake topper. And I want to come up here to flip, and I'm going to flip this horizontal. Now, I will explain why I flip this horizontal when we go to assemble this, but Always, 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 when you are creating a cake topper and you are trying to hide the ugly, you want the very back layer to be copied and pasted and then mirrored. So your backer is going to look weird to you. That's what you want to do. And I will show you why here in a little bit. Okay, now what we can do, because the design process is over, is we can actually save our project. So if you were to want to make both of these pieces together, your birthday banner and your birthday cake topper, all you would need to do is press make, and you'd be able to cut both of your projects all at one time. However, because I have already created my birthday banner, I am just going to select everything on my banner and I'm going to delete. Then what I'm going to do is come up here to make. Okay, now what we need to do is go and pull our papers and head over to the machine. You want to make, when you pull your cardstock, just like with any project that we've been working on, you always want to pull and place your pieces of paper in order of which is on your Cricut. Then what you want to do is press continue on your computer. And I am going to load in my first piece of paper on my Cricut mat, which is going to be my glitter white. And we are going to load this into our Cricut, pressing the blinking C button. Now, if you're using my glitter cardstock, I always set my machine to cardstock plus mode. It should also say the same thing on your computer. When you have that done, I love cutting on the fast cut mode because I can't stand a slow cutting machine. When you have that done, you just want to press the blinking C button. Now, if you feel like you're becoming an expert at Cricut crafting and you want to add in a second mat, what you can do is while your mat 1 is cutting, you can grab your second material from your stack and we can add this onto a second mat. So when our Cricut is done cutting, all we need to do is eject our material, load in our second mat, press the blinking C button, and then we can just keep our hands busy by removing this material from our mat. This just makes the process go so much quicker. When you're done cutting, all you need to do is pack up your machine because we don't need it anymore. And then you want to press done on your computer. Now what you should be left with is 2 white pieces, a front and a back, and then you should have all of your glitter cardstock cutouts. Also, don't lose your eye in birthday because we need that. Your little dots for the eyes are very important. Okay, to make a cake topper, you are going to need a hot glue gun for this project to affix your stick to the back of your cake topper. So you want to make sure that that's plugged in and ready to go. I am using a clear acrylic cake stick that you can also get in my cardstock shop. If you don't want to use clear acrylic cake sticks, then just a simple wooden pick will do. Not a popsicle stick because those are way too big, but just some type of wood that is about this size. You don't want it to be too large to overpower your cake topper. Then what you're going to need is some precision craft glue. This right here is my favorite precision craft glue because it has a nice little pinpoint thing on there, and this glue right here is super strong and it will hold glitter to glitter. The other thing, which is definitely optional, is picking up something like this where it has a wax tip on it. The reason why I love using this is because when it comes to cake toppers, oftentimes the pieces are really small. And if you have arthritis like me, sometimes picking up the pieces is hard. So like this little circle for the eye, I can just dab it and it just picks up that piece. Then I can just put a little bit of glue and then put it where I need it to go. If you do not want to pick one of these up, that's okay, because the other thing that I have is a little bit of poster putty. Yeah, poster putty. So all you would need to do is just make like a small little pinpoint like that where it's very small. And you could use this as the same thing as this. So if you have poster putty on hand, make sure and grab that. But if you don't and you want to grab one of these, you can too. What I want to do is assemble it just like how it looked on Cricut Design Space. So I had the white. We're gonna glue with the happy birthday looking at us. You don't want to use the backer piece for that. We're gonna glue on this one. Just like in the design, happy, the rainbow part of happy, is glued first and then birthday is glued second. what I want to do first is glue my happy down. So I am just going to use my Precision Craft glue, and I'm going to put this on the back of my glitter cardstock. Now, if I'm gluing glitter cardstock on top of glitter cardstock, or even plain cardstock on top of glitter cardstock, I tend to use a little bit more glue because I really want the glue to grab onto the glitter cardstock. So I'm going to put this down on H, and then we're going to grab A. Again, we want to put a fairly good amount of glue on top of the back of our letters, just so it really does grab onto the glitter cardstock. Now, generally when I say doing cardstock projects, you don't want to use a whole lot of glue because cardstock is meant to stay flat. However, glitter cardstock tends to be harder to glue together because it's so rough. So I always suggest doing an extra layer of glue when it comes to cardstock projects. Now, I do also suggest, like strongly suggest, getting Precision Craft glue. If you were to use just a normal glue bottle, you're going to have glue coming everywhere. Now, for me, you have seen I'm using a fairly good amount of glue, and there's not any glue going out anywhere. I don't have to clean up any glue. That's because of the Precision Craft. I am able to precisely put the glue where I want it to go. So I want it in the middle of my letter, just like this. And it's not going to shloop right out of my letter. All right, I'm just gonna press this down really good with my hand. This just like really bonds the glue together. Okay, now we're gonna do birthday. I'm gonna do the actual large cutout first. Isn't this so cute? So cute, zero shedding, looks great. I'm gonna turn this around and we are going to just put some glue. I'm gonna put glue on the entire cutout of birthday because I want it to be really stuck on the white glitter cardstock. See, put it on every single letter. Okay, I'm gonna roll this over and I'm gonna just put this in the middle. Okay, now when it comes to the eye, when you do offsets like this, you can kind of tell where the eye is, the dot of the eye is gonna go. It's gonna go right here, right? So to make it easy for us, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put the glue on top of the white glitter cardstock. Just like that. Okay, I already know that's where the eye is gonna go because of my offset being completely center, right? So now what I'm gonna do is take my wax tip. You could use your poster putty if you wanted to. We're just gonna pick up that eye and we are gonna dollop it into the glue. Now I have glue coming out a little bit, so I am just going to put my finger down and I am going to pick up that glue and press down on my eye. So now there's no glue coming out, but my eye is stuck on there, and that's perfect placement. If you didn't like it, then all you would need to do is use this tip of your pickup tool, and we can just move it around a little bit. Now, if you didn't have that, you could use your finger, you know, and like slide it over. I just think that this tool is really handy. Okay, so now what we need is our backer of our cake topper. And remember what I said about always making sure to mirror this. So let's look at the back of this. It does not look terrible because my mats were clean, but there is like a little bit of like grossness, right? Like little black spots. That's from the residue of the mat. You don't want to see that on your birthday cake, right? So what we want to do is we want to glue a cute backer. So this right here is the cute stuff. This is the glitter cardstock that we are going to glue on the back. If we did not mirror it, and this right here is the glitter cardstock, I just did another one just so I could show you the importance of mirroring your backer. If we did not mirror this, what you would do is you would put this on top of here, and then this would be your backer. And do you see all these like little hiccups right here? You would see that on your cake topper. Yeah, the glue of your stick would be hidden, but you would still see the caca in the back of the cake topper. I don't like that. I love hiding the ugly. So why you want to mirror this is we are going to take the beautiful side of your cake topper, the cute glitter cardstock. We are going to flip this over and we are going to glue our cake stick onto the backer. And then we are going to glue our front to the front. So on the front, we get absolutely gorgeous beautifulness. Turn it around. The back side is going to be your glitter cardstock. And it's going to look so cute with all the imperfections of the residue from the mat or the lifting up of the cardstock. All of that is hidden inside your sandwich. That's why I love, love, love mirroring my backer. Okay, now that I've explained that, we're gonna set this over to the side and we are gonna take our backer, remember the mirrored one, and we are gonna turn this around to where it's legible to us now. Now what you wanna do is taking your hot glue gun, and we wanna put hot glue towards the middle of your cake topper. I always eyeball this. This is not an exact science. I just like to put it towards the middle. I'm gonna take my clear acrylic cake stick and I'm gonna lay that onto my backer. Pressing real good. If you had a wooden cake stick, you would just be using a wooden cake stick at this point. I love the look of this because you can see that it's clear, you know, so we're gonna put this onto our cake and you're not gonna be able to see the stick, so it looks like it's floating in the air versus using a wooden stick. You'd be able to see the wooden stick. Okay, now what I like to do is taking my Precision Craft glue and I am going to go over the entire cake topper, the backer of it, and I am going to fill it up with glue. Okay, you will notice that I did not put glue on my stick. That's because I'm going to use more hot glue. I love doing the wet glue for everything and then only doing hot glue for right here because hot glue dries so quick. So I'm going to have more time to make sure that it's properly layered on versus like if you were to mess up the placement, hot glue, since it's so instantaneous on the bond, you're going to be left with something that looks a little weird. But at least with only having the dollop of hot glue in one area, you're able to move it around just a little bit easier. Okay, now working with hot glue, you do have to move kind of fast. I'm going to put glue only on my stick. I'm going to do a pretty good amount. And I always like to put my tip of my glue gun on my backer and drag. That just like stops that, you know, these like strings that are on your hot glue. It just stops that from happening. Okay, moving fast, we want to pick up our front of our cake topper. And I just like to start in one area. And then I'm going to go to like the bottom right corner. I'm going to go to the top right corner, making sure that everything's lined up. Then I'm going to go to the middle where I put that hot glue and I'm going to press down. And this is your finished cake topper with the back looking fabulous. And here's the front. Look at that. You made your first cake topper. I mean, didn't this turn out so stinking cute? And like it matches the entire theme. We got a rainbow party theme. We got a banner. We got a cake topper. And holy cow, was this so much fun to make. And it was easy, right? Tell me it was easy. Because I think it was so easy. The reason why I think it's so easy is because I have given you the tools in projects 1 through 5 that all the rest of these projects should feel easy to you because you have all those tools that I've given you. Now for project 7, I'm actually really excited about this. And I'm sure I say this about every single project, but project 7 I'm really excited about because with every birthday party, you have a birthday banner, you have a birthday cake topper. What do you need at a birthday party? People. You need people. And how do you get people at your birthday party? Invitations. And so I'm going to show you how to make the most epic birthday invitations only using your Cricut and a couple little materials that you can get at the craft store. All right, y'all. I sure hope that I inspired you to create today. And I will see you over in project 7 where we invite our people to our birthday party.